What up, everybody? It's your boy Adrian, and I'm back. Man, it has been a crazy month of March, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to take the time out to tell everybody who subscribes to me, everybody who follows me, everybody supports me and shows me love, and everybody, even the new fans, anybody coming in. I just want to take the time and tell you guys I appreciate the love. Please keep it coming and please support your boy. It is much appreciated. But now let's get right into it. This month of March, the NFL offseason has been one of the craziest, I would say the craziest offseason of movement, especially in the quarterback carousel, and nothing is safe and nothing is off limits. The NFL has continued to take the shine, even during March Madness with the Devontae Adams trade, the Deshaun Watson trade. It just keeps coming. But we are here, as you know, my Pittsburgh Steelers. It's been almost about 8 days since the start of free agency, or I would say the legal tampering period. But it's ramping up. It's been ramping up, and my Steelers continue to make moves, and Kevin Carter has continued to be aggressive and make a lot of moves. This is his last offseason as the general manager, so he's trying to set the next edition of the Steelers up. With that being said, let's first talk about the guys that the Pittsburgh Steelers re-signed. Now we re-signed Chukuma Okorafor, as we call him, Chooks. He'll probably be the right tackle, but that was the biggest surprise. Signed him to a 3-year deal. That deal, is backloaded. So if he doesn't have a good year this year, then the Steelers can cut bait with him. Also decided to re-sign Montravius Adams, defensive tackle, who played well in the depth spot last year. Signed him to a 2-year, I believe, $5 million deal. Also re-signed safety Miles Killebrew, basically a special team standout, give you some depth if you need him, along with Jordan Norwood. You also got Arthur Marlette, slot corner. He came back over from the Jets last season. He did a solid job. Can't complain, I'll take him. He did his thing. Also re-signed Akella Witherspoon, who was a key grab for them. Add some depth to that corner, possibly play the number 2 corner. But with that being said, the biggest splash move and the biggest thing we've talked about and the biggest need for this team as who will be the next quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that will be one Mitchell Tribiski Lee, formerly the number 2 pick in the draft. Spent last year with the Buffalo Bills. Learned under Josh Dable, learned under Josh Allen. I think this is a good pickup for the Steelers. We talked about it. He'll run a perfect offense with Matt Canada, who I think fits his skill set the best. He can move. Canada's offense is all about movement and decisiveness and deceptiveness. It's a 2-year deal, $14 million. You're getting Mitchell Trubisky at $7 million a year. I'll take that in a heartbeat. And that's the best thing we can get on the market because we weren't getting the Deshaun Watson, we weren't getting the Aaron Rodgers, we weren't getting the Russell Wilson. The Steelers, like I said, typically don't make those kind of splash plays. I think it sets it up for he's a bridge gap guy, obviously, as the Steelers need to figure out what they're going to do and bringing in this next franchise quarterback. But for now, I think he can get the job done, surrounding him with the right pieces. Also, added 2 guys on the offensive line. James Daniels, a guard from the Chicago Bears, formerly Mitchell Trubisky's teammate, who will probably play guard. He can play center, but I say he'll be a guard. Then we got Mason Cole, formerly known of the Minnesota Vikings. He'll probably play center. I heard he's been a little handsy, not getting his handoffs good, but that's an upgrade, I believe, from Kendrick Green. Then you also signed Levi Wallace, former undrafted guy who played for the Buffalo Bills. Played well, by the way. Had a pick against the Steelers last season, by the way. Also, got the guy I've been really wanting, Miles Jack. Jacksonville decided to cut bait with him. Signed him to a 2-year, $16 million deal. Pair him with Devin Bush. It's not a big contract. If him and Devin Bush don't play well, then hey, we can cut bait and figure it out. But let's see if it can work. I think this can work, and the Steelers addressed a lot of needs. Also, they signed Gunnar Olszewski. Special team standout, punt returner, kick returner, formerly known of the New England Patriots, has done a great job as a Pro Bowl player in that teams, and that will give the Steelers some nice juice on special teams as Ray McLeod left and went to the 49ers. Also lost James Washington and Juju Smith-Schuster. But with that being said, the Steelers addressed a lot of needs so far. Offensive line mainly. They can only go up from here and be a lot better than they were last season. So I like it. Put Kendrick Green on the bench. We don't have to cut him, but I think he can just be a depth guy. Added some DB help. I still think they need a number one corner. I like what this team has done. Like I said, I like what the Steelers and company have done to help better this team and get us better in 2022. These little subtle moves. They also released Joe Schobert, cleared up $9.7 million of cap space. He played well last year. I just think we need a little more athleticism on the linebacker crew. He couldn't guard tight ends well. He's a try-hard guy. I like what he contributed to this team, but I think it was the right move in cutting him. The Steelers can also free up more cap space by releasing guys, freeing up guys. There's a lot more work to do. Now in the safety position, like I've talked about, Terrell Edmonds decided to test the market. There's still a guy out there who I like, and his name is the Honey Badger. That is right, Tyrann Mathieu. Pair him up with Minka. The Steelers have the cap space to be able to do these kind of things. Sign him, pair him up with Minka, and you have a hell of a safety duo with him and Minka, and I would love to see it. He's still in the market as of today, March 22nd. But with that being said, since we've assigned these guys, let's talk about the potential offensive line. At left tackle, we got Dan Moore, who was a late-round pick last year. I think he's solidified in there, unless the Steelers draft a left tackle and draft a Penning. We'll see what happens with that, though. Also, you got left guard Kevin Dotson. I was a big Kevin Dotson guy. I think Kevin's problem is he's got to stay healthy. He had the ankle injury last year. So we're going to really see what he can do this year, and this will be a big year for Kevin. Now at center, I'm sliding Mason Cole in there with a question mark. Like I said, he's been a little handsy. He's been a little fumbly with the snaps. I can't have Kendrick Green at center. And if you can in the draft, if you get to 20 and Tyler Linderbaum's there, I would draft him and solidify the middle of that line like Pouncey did for all these years because we need it. And then at right guard, you got James Daniels, the formerly acquired from the Bears. He'll be a great addition up the middle to block for Mitchell Trubisky, who's very familiar with him. And I love that pick. It wasn't a lot of money spent on that pick as well. Let's go to right tackle. Formerly just signed Chooks. This is a big year for him. Like I said, that contract's backloaded. So if he doesn't perform well, then it's good. The Steelers gave themselves a lot of leeway, so they won't be handicapped with the money or anything like that. So I think this line has a potential, will for sure be better than this past season. If it all goes well, I believe these guys are all under the age of 20, all 25 and under. So if they can continue to grow together, then that's a solidifying foundational pieces for these guys and continue to rebuild this offensive line as we have tried to do since last season. Now, since that's being said, there's a couple needs the Steelers still need. We need a true number one corner. I love Levi Wallace and I love Ahkello Witherspoon, but we still need a true number one. I'm hoping maybe a guy like Sauce Gardner or Daryl Stingley can fall, but I don't see that happening. But you still got guys like a Trent McDuffie, you got a Roger McQuarrie. There's a lot of guys out there the Steelers can attack, but we still, I believe, need to add a number one corner. And this is a sneaky need right here. Wide receiver. Deontay Johnson played well last season, but towards the end started dropping a lot of balls. Chase Claypool was inconsistent. Now we lost, like I said, James Washington to the Cowboys. Ray McLeod to the 49ers. Also lost Juju to the Chiefs. So, like I said, this wide receiver class is really deep at that position. So, we can address it there. I believe they need to get a couple guys. Maybe one for sure, maybe two. Steelers are very good at drafting wide receivers, and they don't like to pay guys. So, like I said, this is a big year for guys like Deontay and Chase. But we got to elevate this offense and get weapons for Mitch and see where it goes. Also, safety. We don't know what's going to happen with Edmonds. We don't know if we're going to get Matthew, so that's a need. Defensive line is a need. Tyson Alualu is supposed to be coming back, but he's coming off an ankle injury. I still don't know what I get from Tua. He's supposed to be coming back, but we got to continue to add depth to that defensive line and do not let up, and let's keep getting younger and let's refresh these guys. And now, one last bit of news I want to leave you guys before I get up out of here. It's the fact that Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty, pro day just happened. Mike Tomlin and company were there. They went out to dinner with Malik last night. I've heard the Steelers linked to Malik a lot. If the Steelers could find a way to get Malik Willis at 20, I would love it. They'll probably have to move up though, because you got Carolina who needs a quarterback. Seattle, maybe they'll take a quarterback. But we'll see if they can get him and draft him and let him sit a year. I would take it in a heartbeat because I think he's the best quarterback in this draft, the most upside, super athletic, amazing deep ball. Just has the tools and traits to be a great quarterback. And I think if they can get their hands on him, I would love it. But I'm almost about a month away from the draft. I'm excited, guys. Sorry I waited so long to give you this Steelers news, but I needed to let everything come in. So much information coming in, so much things. I'm excited. It's ramping up. All these pro days are coming, but I'm excited as a Steelers fan. I like where they're going. Now I know people aren't happy because right now we do have the worst quarterback in the division behind Deshaun, behind Lamar, behind Joe. But this team is going to build a team around Mitch to help him win, and I think we're still going to be able to contend and have a shot. So that's all we ask for. We go hard in the paint. So I love this Steelers organization, but remember, let's do it. Like I said, I'm excited. It's player movement. It's a lot to talk about. The draft's coming soon. I will be bringing you guys a mock draft real soon. But hey, follow my Twitter. That's at Keeping the Score. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just keep supporting your boy. Like I said, it's appreciated. It's your boy Adrian, and I'm out.